Today we're going to see how to use guessers in React Admin, and more specifically how to use the ListGuesser. A guesser is a fully automated page component that calls the data provider and configures itself based on the response. The ListGuesser uses the response from dataprovider.getList to set the fields of a data grid. And let's see that in practice. Here I have an empty React Admin application created with the Create React Admin CLI. This application is connected to a data provider powered by JSON server and connected to JSON placeholder. And JSON placeholder is a REST API, a REST server exposing resources for users, posts, comments, etc. And it serves both lists of resources as well as individual resources. Sorry. Individual resources. So this is an API that we can connect to. And what I want to do is to scaffold a web application based on this API showing a list of users. And I'm going to use guessers for that. So first, I'm going to add a new resource called users. To my application, and I'm going to use the ListGuesser for the list view. And just like that, I now have a fully functional list. So I have the ability to change the sort of the data grid. I can paginate the list and go from page 1 to page 2. And as you can see, the data displayed in this React Admin app is the same as in the JSON placeholder API. The reason is that it's simply calling this API. If I refresh the page, I see that I'm calling the JSON placeholder API with the right order and pagination parameters. And I can do the same for other resources served by the REST API. I can, for instance, do that for posts. I can do the same for comments. And let's do the same for to-dos. And this allows me to have, in just a few seconds, a usable admin for these resources. Except here, the foreign key for users is not very legible. Let me change that by adding a record representation called name. And now, yeah, when I have a foreign key to a user, it's using the username. Right. So the best thing about ListGuesser is that you can see in the browser console that the ListGuesser drops, it logs the list configuration it has guessed from the data provider, which with fields like name, username, email, etc. And I can just copy this code into a new component that I'll call user list. I'm just pasting the code, and now I'm going to use in my app the user list here instead of the ListGuesser. And the result is the same configuration, except I can now change that list and, for instance, remove the ID colon or move the website colon just after the email colon. So that's the power of guessers. And in fact, React Admin has guessers for more than lists. I can even add an edit guesser, which will generate a form to edit the resource, and it's already functional. I can here change it, save it, and here I see that it has changed. So this is the power of guessers in React Admin. I only need a couple minutes to bootstrap a web app based on an existing API, and from there on I can customize pretty much everything and spend my time doing what's useful for the end user and what makes sense for the business.